Welcome to True Life Lessons, where we explore the deepest corners of the human heart and the profound wisdom found within. Today we tell the emotional story of Sarah, a young girl running from a dark shadow that follows her every step. We often believe that ignoring our deep pain will make it disappear, but silence only feeds the monsters living inside us. In this quiet village, life seems peaceful on the surface, yet silent storms often rage violently within the depths of the soul. There is a specific path Sarah never takes, a route she has carefully avoided for exactly 1 year, 3 months, and 2 days. It is the path to the old village pond, a place that holds the echoes of laughter that has long since silenced. Sarah fills every second of her day with noise and work, terrified of the silence that might allow memories to return. She wears a mask of strength, convincing everyone around her that she has moved on, while inside she is slowly crumbling. She uses constant distraction as a shield, believing that if she keeps running, the ghost of her past cannot catch her. But the truth is, the pond was once her sanctuary, the place she loved most in the entire world, until that day. It was the spot where she and San, her best friend since childhood, shared their deepest secrets and their biggest dreams. San was the light to Sarah's shadow, the one person who understood her without words, a bond they thought would last forever. Now, that memory is a sharp knife in her heart, a constant reminder of what she lost and can never recover. She quickly shuts the door on her emotions, refusing to let the grief spill over, locking it tight within her chest. The source of her pain goes back 1 year to a stupid, trivial argument that escalated into something they did not mean. Sarah walked away in anger that evening, letting her pride control her actions, thinking they would just make up the next day. She did not know that silence would be the final sound between them, a heavy wall that death would make permanent. That very night, tragedy struck unexpectedly. San passed away suddenly, leaving no time for goodbyes, apologies, or second chances for Sarah. The news shattered Sarah's world into 1,000,000 pieces. The realization that she could never say, "I am sorry," broke her. Guilt became her constant companion. She blamed herself for leaving, for the anger, and for not being there when it mattered. Since that day, Sarah decided to run. She built a fortress around her heart to keep the overwhelming pain at bay. She believed that if she avoided the pond, she could avoid the reality of death. But grief is not a place. She became an expert at pretending. Everyone in the village thought she was strong, unaware of the crumbling ruin inside her. But running from emotions is like running on a treadmill. You exhaust yourself completely, but you never actually get anywhere new. One afternoon, nature decided to intervene. A sudden storm rolled in, matching the turbulence that Sarah had been hiding for so long. Instinctively seeking shelter, her feet carried her not home, but towards the one place she had sworn never to visit again. She froze at the edge of the clearing. The sound of rain hitting the water surface sounded like 1,000 whispering voices. Her heart raced against her ribs. Every instinct screamed at her to turn around and run back to the safety of denial. But she was tired. She was so incredibly tired of running, of carrying the heavy weight of the unsaid and undone. Instead of turning away, she took a trembling step forward. Then another. The magnetic pull of the memory was too strong. She reached the old stone bench. It looked lonely and weathered, much like how she felt on the inside all this time. Touching the cold stone, the dam finally broke. The walls she had built so carefully crumbled under the weight of the truth. She sank to the ground, no longer caring about the mud or the rain. The physical storm was nothing compared to the emotional one. She screamed into the storm. She cried for San, for the apology she never gave, and for the friend she missed so dearly. For the first time in a year, she allowed herself to feel the pain she had been running from. It was agonizing. It felt like her heart was being torn apart. But in that breaking, something important was finally being released and set free. She sat there for a long time, letting the tears flow until there were none left. The storm above began to clear. As the rain slowed, Sarah realized she was still breathing. The pain had not killed her. It had simply demanded to be felt. She looked at the water. It was no longer a monster to fear, but just a pond. Peaceful, quiet, and enduring. She whispered the apology she had held back for so long. She spoke to San, hoping the wind would carry her words. A gentle breeze brushed against her cheek, and in that moment, Sarah felt a strange sense of peace settle over her soul. She realized that running away only kept the wound open. Facing the pain was the only way to allow it to heal. The pond was not a place of death. It was a place of life, of memory, and of the love they shared. Sarah understood now. Pain is not an enemy to be defeated or escaped. It is a teacher that demands our attention. It teaches us about what matters. It shows us the depth of our love and forces us to grow into stronger people. She took San's photo and placed it on her desk. No longer hidden, but celebrated. A beautiful memory of a beautiful friendship. The days that followed were not perfect, but they were real. Sarah stopped pretending and started living, carrying her friend in her heart. She returned to the pond often, not to mourn, but to remember, to sit in the silence and feel connected again. She learned that forgiveness starts with forgiving yourself. She forgave herself for being human, for making mistakes, and for surviving. The pain of loss never fully disappears, but it changes. It becomes a quiet companion rather than a screaming monster. Sarah used her experience to help others. She understood grief now, and she could offer true comfort to those who were hurting. This is the lesson she learned. What we dare to face, we are eventually liberated from. Running only prolongs the suffering. Pain asks to be felt. It asks to be understood. And when we listen to it, it eventually shows us the way home. Sarah is no longer the girl who runs. She is the girl who stays, who feels, and who continues to move forward. She found that on the other side of her deepest pain was a strength she never knew she possessed until now. Life grows around grief like roots around a stone. The stone remains, but the tree continues to grow tall and beautiful. If you are running from something painful today, stop. Turn around, look it in the eye. It has a lesson for you. Do not be afraid of your tears. They are simply the evidence that you have loved deeply and that your heart is alive. The sun sets on our grief, but it also rises on our healing. Every ending is just the start of a new beginning. Sarah's story reminds us that we are resilient. We can endure the storms and come out cleaner and brighter on the other side. Let your pain teach you. Let it soften you, not harden you. Let it open your heart to the beauty of now. Thank you for joining Sarah on this journey of courage. We hope her story inspires you to face your own shadows today. Thank you for watching True Life Lessons. Please subscribe for more stories that touch the soul and help you grow stronger.